Okay. So what you're told here, May 2017, it's May 2017, May 2017. Question number 2B. Question number 2B. What they're telling us here is that Jumbo Limited is a multiple product firm, a multi-product firm. The company intends to launch a new product branded ZP in the coming months. Production will be in batches of 1,000 units, so one batch equals 1,000 units throughout the life of the product. It is expected to achieve a 90% learning curve, but the learning would cease after the 64th batch. So I can see the concept of stabilization being taught. I can see ourselves computing K here. Other relevant data of the product ZP is as follows. So I can see the expected life there. I can see the selling price there. I can see the materials. I can see direct labor cost. I can see variable overhead cost, total specific cost. The learning index for a 90% learning curve has been given there. So B has been provided there. So they want us to give them the expected profit to be earned from the product over its lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing is for you to appreciate here the fact that these learning curves can only affect labor, and as such, the only technical thing here is to calculate the labor cost. The only technical thing is to calculate the labor cost. Once you have the labor cost, you have been able to unravel the mystery behind this entire question. So labor cost, why am I saying this is the only technical thing? Because this is what they want you to estimate using our learning curve formula, which is y equals ax raised to power b plus what here? Power b plus 1. So ladies and gentlemen, here I am. I know A is the time taken to produce the first unit. In this particular case, they never gave us time. They just gave us the total direct labor cost of the first batch. So meaning, ladies and gentlemen, that our A is Kenya shillings 52,500, the cost of producing the first unit. So meaning that automatically Y here will be the total labor cost. Total labor cost. And then of course we know X is the cumulative output. We know B is the learning index, whose value will always be ascertained by us taking log R divided by log 2. But unfortunately or fortunately, they gave us this value automatically as 0.152 negative. So once you give me this for sure, the next thing will be for me to get B plus 1. Where B plus 1 will be minus 0.152 plus 1, which will give me 0.848. 0.848 like that. And once I have these, now I'm at home. The only thing that I need to do is to come and plug in the figures of A and the B plus 1 into the equation for us to be able to get the learning curve model. So we have our Y being equal to 52,500 X raised to B plus 1, which is 0.848 like that. So ladies and gentlemen, the moment I have the equation, now I can embark on my journey. The journey here is to get the total labor cost of 256,000 units. Remember, how are they producing? They are producing in batches of 1,000. So first of all, come and give us the number of the batches. Give us number of the batches. So we have 256,000 divided by 1,000. 256,000 divided by 1,000. This will end up giving us what here? 256 batches. Because they've told us that every single batch you produce like this, it has 1,000. It has 1,000. So then this will give us 256 what here? Batches like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment I have number of batches, it has to dawn on me that we have the concept of stabilization here. There is a K that has to be looked for. There is a K that has to be looked for in this question. Whenever there is a K to be looked for, normally so many students of CASNEB doing advanced management accounting will veer off the road. They go astray. They leave the road which is going towards passing, they go the other, because very many students don't get enough time. They don't get, in this case, to prepare very well on this concept of stabilization. So they're telling us there, if you read the first paragraph, the last line of the first paragraph, we are told it is expected to achieve a 90% learning curve but the learning curve would cease after the 64th batch. After the 64th batch. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are being told something so nice here, that you're going to continue learning. We shall continue learning, but not forever. Our average time will continue coming down, 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 up to the 64th batch. Once in this case here, we hit the 64th batch, we hit a plateau. So things become flat. We'll start enjoying our time K here. Every other unit produced after batch number 64 now will be consuming the constancy time of K. So many students here were using 65 here in this exam. 65, that's a lie. That's a lie. They've said immediately after the 64th batch, things go flat. After the 64th batch, things go flat. Things go flat. So, ladies and gentlemen, we shall look for K. The first thing that we need to do is to come here and look for K. So how do we get K? We have our formula. What we need to know is that K is premised on the 64th batch. 64th batch is premised on the 64th batch. On the 64th batch, premised on the 64th batch. So if that is the case, come and give us here Y 64th batch. Y 64th batch. So how do we do this? Of course, this needs expansion. We have to expand this. So to expand this, we talk of Y up to 64. Y first, 64. And then we'll come and cut away the unwanted, which will be Y first, 63. So that we'll be left with the 64th batch alone. 64th batch alone. So, ladies and gentlemen, here I am. I will come here using the style that I've just shown you many times. Put this 52,500 outside. 52,500 outside. So we have 64, 64, 64. I'm following this. Raised to my power 0.848 minus 63. Raised to 0.848 like that. So please come and give us an answer. I want the time of stability. I hope that is the heading that you have up there. The time of stability, which is our K. The time of stability, which is our K, will end up giving us what figure? The time of stability, which is our K, will end up giving us what figure, ladies and gentlemen? So please give us this figure. Somebody called Peter. Peter, my friend, is giving us 23,688. 23,688. 23,688. 23,688. At least now Peter is representing the boy child. 23,688.32. 0.32. That is the labor cost of producing the 64th unit. So it means that this is cost per what? It is cost per unit. It is cost per unit. Cost per unit. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember in total, we have 256 what here? Batches. So these 256 batches here will be divided into two. The first group being the group where the learning curve will be used. So in this case here, we have the first 64. The first 64. And then, of course, because we want to account for all the 256 batches, could you kindly give me the balance? The balance. So what is 256 minus 64, somebody? 256 minus, somebody has already given me a figure, somebody called Rose has given me a figure of 192 batches. 192 batches. Remember, these are the ones which are going to enjoy the constancy. The one that will be enjoying the constancy. So in this case here, the constancy, the K. Remember, this is for 1 unit. So come and multiply this with 23,688.32, and then kindly give me the answer. Kindly give me the answer for this. We start with this stability, the stability. Give me the answer for this, 23,688.32. What are we going to get at the end of the day from Rose again? I can see 45, 48. Rose is giving me a figure of 45, 48, 45, 48, 157.4, 157.44 or 4 like that, 0.4. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you and I know what is going to happen with the first 64. The first 64, we are using a learning curve formula. The first 64, we are using a learning curve formula. The first 64, we're using a learning curve formula. So we have here y equals 52,500. So you're saying that this one use LC, learning curve. So it'll be 52,500 times 64 raised to 0.848 like that. Somebody give me this figure, kindly. Give me this figure. Give me this figure. Kindly give me the figure. Give me the labor cost of the first 64. Give me the labor cost of the first 64. What do we have there? So Rose gives me 1765, 1785, 1785, 1785. From Peter's World, 1785, 664.664.84 or 0.71 are the same. Those are rounding off errors. These are rounding off errors. So please come and add up everything for you to give us the total labor cost. For you to give us the total labor cost. So in this question, very many students, bright students, were able to get the other marks, but most of them lost out on the labor costing. Most of them could not cost the labor using this learning curve. If most of them, what most of them will do is to come and write the learning curve equation and then they put 256 inside there. And then of course after that they called me telling me, you know what, Molim, you taught us very well. And because of such great teachings, we did our questions very well. But when exams come back, they come this way. And a student will always think that perhaps they are bewitched. There is nothing like being bewitched in this world. There is nobody who has got those supernatural powers. Trust you me. It's you who never understood these concepts very well. It's you who never understood these concepts very well. It's you who never understood these concepts very well. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give me this total labor cost. The total labor cost in this case, I'm being told by Peter and also by Rose, by very many other students, 633, 63, 33, 63, 33, 63, 33, 63, 33, 822.1. 822.1. Thank you and thank you very much. Now, once I've gotten my labor cost, this is the total labor cost. Total labor cost. Please write it like that. The total labor cost. Once I've gotten my total labor cost, now what I will do, I will come right away here and give my examiner the income statement. I'll come right away here and give my examiner the income statement. So we have here the income statement. So the income statement, what do we have? We start with revenue, the profit and loss account. So we start with revenue, ladies and gentlemen, revenue. So for revenue, what we have here for revenue, I can see the number of units. The number of units here are 256,000. 256,000 units, and I know that from each unit, they've given us a selling price of 123. They've given us a price of 123. So I want to get revenue, which is price times quantity. Revenue, which is price times quantity. Price times quantity. Revenue, which is price times quantity. Which is price times quantity. So could you kindly give us this figure? Kindly give us this figure, and please don't fear to ask questions. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. So somebody is giving me a figure of 31,488,000. So sales revenue is 31,488,000. So come, ladies and gentlemen, to cost. Cost, for sure, if I'm the one doing this, I'll begin with the labor cost. Because this one already I have been working for it, and I've been able to get the figure. So labor cost, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be 6,333,822.1. 822.1. 822.1. 822.1. 822.1. Ladies and gentlemen, having gotten the labor cost, I expect you to go ahead and give us the other, you give us, ladies and gentlemen, the other costs, of which the next cost I can see there is material. So we have here material cost. We have the material cost. Material cost, I can see they have given me material cost for 1 unit. Means that I'll have to multiply this with the number of units. So then this will be 36 per unit, not batches, but units. So 36 per unit times number of units here, which are 256,000. 256,000. So somebody material cost who is able to see a figure for us there very first. What do we, thank you very much. So for material cost, I'm being given a figure of 16,000. Thank you and thank you very much. Apart from material cost, do we have another cost? Oh yes, we have the variable overhead. We have the variable overhead cost. So I'll talk of variable overhead. So the variable overhead per unit is 24 times 256,000 units. So 24 times 256,000 units. What are you able to see, ladies and gentlemen, us getting there? Yes, I can see somebody saying it's 61,44,000. So this is 61,44,000. Remember, the examiner never asked for contributions. If he asked for contributions, this is what we could have only subtracted. Here, the examiner, ladies and gentlemen, has asked for profit. Profit. So profit dictates that you must come here and deduct. We have here the fixed cost. Come here and deduct the fixed cost. So we have here fixed cost. So fixed cost, what do we have here? 38,75,000. We have here 38,75,000, like that. So could you kindly subtract all these expenses for you to be able to give us our net income, or basically the profit? Kindly give us the profit. Kindly give us the profit. Kindly give us the profit very fast. To get profit, we are taking revenues minus expenses. Revenues minus cost. We are taking revenues minus cost. Revenues minus what here? Minus cost. So I'm waiting to get somebody who will be able to give me their profit. Somebody has given me 614. Someone is giving me an answer here. Expected profit is 614, 4,000. 614, 4,000. 614, 4,000, like that. Thank you and thank you very much. That is the profit. That is the profit. That is the profit which you are expecting. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you 5 minutes exactly. You try Roman 2 of this question. Roman 2 of this question was a straightforward question. They are asking us there, it has now been established that the learning effect will continue for all of the 256 batches that will be produced. So they want us to give them the learning curve, which is the same as learning rate, required to achieve a lifetime product profit of shillings 10 million, assuming that a constant learning rate applies throughout the product's life. So many students, in this case, about 90% of the students never got this particular part correct. At least this area, some students were able to get, but 90% of the students never got this correctly. Let us try and see whether there is anyone between amongst ourselves here who will be able to give us these figures and gentlemen. There is something here that many students are able to correct us. They are saying that the correct profit here, students are giving us a correct profit. They are telling us that the correct profit is supposed to be 591, 177. So 591, 177. So we have here 591, 591, 967, 9. Just check again. What figure are we supposed to be having there? Check again. What figure are we supposed to be having there? Check again. The figures you're giving me. So we check again very nicely. We're supposed to be getting 59.19. Around here, 59.19, yes. 59.19, 178. Or thereabouts, yes, 178. But now let us go straight away, ladies and gentlemen, to the next thing here, which is about calculation of R. Calculation of R. How do we calculate this R? I would want to make something very, very clear as we get on with this particular question. Ladies and gentlemen, remember in this question about learning rate fluctuation, learning rate fluctuating, the only thing that is going to be different here, is labor cost. As learning rate fluctuates, it's only labor cost that can fluctuate. All the other things are going to remain the same. Like revenue will not be affected because in this case here, we are still going to produce the 256,000 units. So we have here in Roman 2, my revenue will remain the same, 31,488,000. Ladies and gentlemen, my labor cost is what I don't know, and I know that labor cost is normally designated by Y. Labor cost is Y there, I don't know it. Because this time around R is changing. Material cost will remain the same. This will be 16,000. This will be 144,000. This will be 75,000. And ladies and gentlemen, this time around the profit they are targeting is 10 million. The profit that these guys are targeting is 10 million. So I would want you to do me a favor. I would want you to come and give us the total cost. Please, first of all, give me the total cost. Give me the total cost. Come and give me the total cost. So come and ascertain the total cost. So the total cost here, give me the total cost under this arrangement. The total cost will be Y plus who? Somebody add this. Take this plus this plus this. Give me a figure. Total cost. Take this plus this plus this. Please give me a figure. Because it will be Y now plus the constants put together. So it will be Y plus. Please give me a figure. It will be Y plus. Please give me a figure. I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting. Please give me a figure. So somebody's giving me 253,000. 253,000. I have to check this again. So we are able to see there 19,253,000. Thank you and thank you very much. Now, don't forget your profit that you want here is 10 million. 10 million. And remember our profit formula. We normally say that profit equals what minus what here. Profit equals revenues minus cost. Profit equals revenue minus what here? Cost. The profit we are targeting is 10 million, which will be equal to revenue that we already have, which is 314,888,000 minus our cost, which has got two terms. So the cost inside here will be y plus 19,253,000. So your work today will be to make y the subject of the formula. The moment you make y the subject of the formula, the moment you make y the subject of the formula, the moment you make y the subject of the formula, then straight away, ladies and gentlemen, you will have finished the entire thing. You'll have finished the entire thing. So we have here 10 million shillings equals 31,488,8 like that, minus y, because of this minus, we expect the terms there to change, minus 19,253,000, right? So please make y the subject of the formula. Make y the subject, take this to the other side. So it will be 10 million on this side. This figure has to change the sign. So take this to the other side. So it will be minus 314,888,000. And then we have minus 9. So take this to this other side, which gives us here plus 19,253,000 equals y. This here is a negative on the other side, it will be changing here. Equals minus y. Remember, minus before us, a term has to be there. So I would want someone to give me this total figure combined. It will be minus something. Give me the total figure combined. So I'm being told that the figure should be 19,235. 19,235. The figure here, I'm being told should be 19,235. Sorry for that. The figure here should be 19,235,000. So all over change 19,235,000 should be 19,235,000. 19,235,000. 19,235,000. And then you make now y the subject of the formula. If you make y the subject of the formula, at the end of the day, you'll be able to give us, of course, it will be negative will cancel out, giving us what figure of y, and I need to be very careful with my figures now. From Lucy, she's giving me 22,530, 22,53,000. So from Lucy, she's saying that her y equals 22. 22. I have to be very, very keen with the figures. 22,53,000. So y is 22,53,000. Now, and unfortunately, we know this to power b plus 1. Don't forget this formula of ours. So the labor cost that we have here is 22,53,000 equals A. Don't forget our A, time taken to produce the first unit. In this particular case, cost for producing the first unit, which was 52,500 x raised to power b plus 1. So I want you to take like a minute. X, we know what x is. We know that x is 256 batches. Remember, in terms of learning, we're producing these things in terms of batches of 1,000 units. So 256 like that, raised to power b plus 1. And what I would want you to do for me this morning is to make the value of b the subject of the formula. Please make b the subject of the formula kindly. Make b the subject of the formula. Gentlemen, remember I normally use a very simple example here to remind you of these logarithms, because whenever you have a power, one of the power items here being an unknown, the only way out is to come and introduce logarithms. To evaluate such kind of a situation, you need to introduce logarithms. And for us to be on the same board, regarding, ladies and gentlemen, to be on the same board, regarding, ladies and gentlemen, this logarithms concept, I would always want to start it from here. What is logarithm of 25? Can somebody give me logarithm of 25? Just go to your calculators and press there, logarithm 25. Logarithm 25, tell me what we have. Logarithm 25. Logarithm 25 will be equal to what, my great students? Somebody call Roast gives me 1.3979. 79. I hope everybody is able to get this figure. How come it's only Rose who got it and nobody else has been able to come out and tell me that when I got that figure? Thank you very much. Great. How about this one? You know, 25 is the same as 5 squared. What do you think is the value of log 5 squared? Or rather, from your calculator, could you kindly give me log 5 squared equals who? Log 5 squared equals who? Log 5 squared equals who? Log 5 squared. You realize that log of 5 squared will be the same as what we found here, which is 1.397. Ladies and gentlemen, what if I was to drop this power down there? And then we talk of 2 multiplied by logarithm 5. Would you kindly try this? 2 logarithm 5 will end up giving us what figure? 2 logarithm 5 will end up giving us what figure? 2 logarithm 5 will end up giving us what figure? 2 logarithm 5 will end up giving us what figure? The same. So using that approach, what we shall come and do, ladies and gentlemen, here is to introduce logarithms in our 2 terms, 2 sides of the same coin, left-hand side and right-hand side. So we talk of logarithm of 2253,000. This will be equal to logarithm of 52,500, but now raised to b plus 1. Raised to b plus 1. And then, of course, now we need to come and bring this b plus 1 down. We need to come and bring the b plus 1 down. So come here and bring the b plus 1. So this will be log of 2253,000 equals b plus 1 logarithm of 52,500. So remember, because these are 2 terms, you have to put them in brackets. And then at the end of the day, what we want you to do is to give us the value of b. At the end of the day, what we want you to do is to give us the value of b. There are too many ways of doing this. You can decide to open up brackets, but I'll not take that approach. What I'll do is to come and divide both sides by log 52,500. You divide both sides by log 52,500. So this and this goes away, and then of course you'll be able to give us the value of b, So you go to your calculator, talk of log 52,53,000 divided by log 52,500. So give us the value of b. So b will be equal to whatever you guys get here as your quotient. We want to know what do you have here? Log this divided by log this gives us what figure? Somebody. I can see Peter has even gone a step further. So somebody is giving me a figure of 1.3459. 1.3459. But now remember, I don't want b plus 1. I want to be alone. So could you kindly go ahead and give me the value of b? Go ahead and give me the value of b. So b will be equal to 1.3459 minus 1. So b will be equal to 0.3459, like that. It doesn't stop here. We know at the end of the day, the examiner wanted us to ascertain R. Fortunately, we are bright students. We know the formula of b. Is log R divided by log what here? Log 2. The formula of b is log R divided by log 2. Log R divided by log 2. So you will come straight away here. We have our b, which is 0.3459 equals log R divided by log 2. So let us cross multiply, because ultimately what we would want to do is to make R the subject of the formula. The subject of the formula. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, come here and make log R the subject of the formula. So if you make log R the subject of the formula, if you make log R the subject of the formula, this is how it shall look like. So we have log R being equal to 0.3459 times log 2 times log 2. So meaning that our log R will be equal to this times log 2 will give us a what figure at the end of the day. So we have this times log 2 giving us what figure at the end of the day. Please give me the answer. Aha. So a good student is asking us here, where do we take the 256? The 256. Perhaps we may have made a mistake. Let's see. Let's see. So remember, we had our y. We had our y. So we have here y equals ax raised to power b plus 1. Raised to power b plus 1. So we have our y. Our y was that labor cost. Who is able to remind Mwalimu here that value for y? And to answer this student who has asked this question. So somebody give me this value of y. Somebody give me this value of y. It is 22,53,000. 22,53,000. 22,53,000. Which equals A that we happen to be having as 52,500. X, we have our X here is 256, which is raised to power B plus what? B plus 1. Yes, that student is right. B plus 1. So the first thing that I will do is to come and divide by 52,500. 52,500. So that and that cancels out. That and that cancels out. So come and divide. Please let us go slowly. Divide this, divide by this gives us what figure, somebody? Divide. This divided by this gives us what figure? Please help me, we move slowly. 42. Yeah, 42.91. So we have here 42.91 equals 256 raised to power b plus 1, where we shall straight away come and introduce the logarithms. So introduce the log this side for 2.91 equals b plus 1, logarithm what here? 256, like that. So from there, come and divide both sides. It will be b plus 1 equals b plus 1 equals b plus 1, b plus 1, b plus 1, b plus 1 will be equal to, sorry for this, it's log 42.91 divided by log 256. Could you kindly give me this answer? You must have lost it long time ago. So give me this b plus 1 will be equal to what, somebody? Log 42.91 divided by this log. So somebody now is getting 0.6779. Thank you very much. 0.6779. And therefore, my b will be equal to 0.6779 minus 1. My b will be equal to 0.6779 minus 1. Minus 1. So can you give us that figure? So b will end up giving us from Peter, b is minus 0.3. b is minus 0.32 from Peter, 0.32 to 1. Thank you very much. To 1. And we know one fact that b is logarithm of r over logarithm of 2. So the b that you're giving me here is minus 0.3221 equals log r over log 2. So now make log r the subject of the formula. Make log r the subject of the formula. Make log r the subject of the formula. So the log r here will be equal to minus 0.3221 times log of 2. Therefore, log r will be equal to what? Could you kindly multiply this for me? Kindly take this times log 2. Give me an answer. Somebody is giving me minus 0.09 minus 0.0969. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we don't want log R. We want R itself. So then how do we get this R? How will we get this R? Somebody told me in our yesterday's class that to change log R to R alone, I'll need to get what we call an anti-log. Anti-log. So use anti-log approach. So the anti-log approach, you'll need to come here, ladies and gentlemen, you'll need to come in the calculators here, look for the log button. You will be able to see the log, and then there is like a small 10. There is a very, very minute 10 up there. So the opposite of log, you'll press shift log. Once you press shift log, you will see a very small 10 displayed on your calculator. Don't raise again. That small 10 behave like you're just subtracting. So you're saying that R, we are saying here that R will be equal to the anti-log of negative 0.0969. So and then of course you say equals. You say equals. When you say equals at the end of the day, I can see from Lucy, anti-log, thank you very much. I can see from Lucy, she's getting 0.what here? 0.8. Is there anybody else who is able to get this 0.8, which is equivalent to 80%? Is there anybody who is able to get that R of 80%? Is there anyone who is able to get that R of 80%? Is there anyone who is able to get 0.799, which is the same as 79.9%? Thank you and thank you very much. Thank you and thank you very much. So I'm 100% sure that all of us would have gotten this question correctly. I'm 100% sure that all of us would have gotten this question correctly. If I'm not wrong, hakuna na mwanafunzi mmoja angekosea. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to try November 2016, question number 2B. November 2016, question number 2B. November 2016, question number 2B.